Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk About That with Ilonka. So, this is my very first episode, and I'm so excited to share this journey with you guys. Life experience, everything you can imagine that happens in a regular life. I just want to share. I think my life is super funny, and there's just certain things that I should be sharing with people. So in this very first episode, I just want to, it's just like a small story, and it's just like a little opener, so of what kind of stories and what things is going to be happening in this podcast. So the first episode of the story is, so a few years ago, I was in a relationship or in a marriage, or what Spanish people call a marriage. So I'm Dominican, and in my culture, it's considered a marriage when you live with a person. So I was with this guy for about 3 years, and we lived in the same house. We had a business together, and we were supposed to be married, or according to people, we were married. So always hanging out. He was, he used to be like, oh, I'm gonna go with Koala to this place. I'm gonna go with Koala to that place. I'm going away with Koala. He went away for the boys trip. It was like a week trip. So he was always going away with Koala, like he called him, and I was like, okay, cool, have a great time. I am not one to be always texting or calling. If anybody that knows me knows that I'm not one to be texting or calling or be looking for people. So I never really I used to like, oh, hey, you good? Everything good? And that was it. Like, it was never like a conversation like, oh, hey, what are you guys doing? Send me pictures or nothing like that. I have never been that kind of person. So it was a little bit uncomfortable for me to become that person. It just, I don't know. I have never been like that. So anyways, they used to be always doing stuff together. They used to go shopping together. They used to go to nice ass restaurants together. Like, they used to do everything together. Sometimes I used to be like, this is the real bromance. You guys spend more time together than me. It did, and that it was at a point like a little bit annoying. It to me, because it was like almost all the time. So then, after a while, Josh stopped coming around. He used to come around. He was still friends. Until today, I'm still friends with Josh, but he stopped coming around as often. I was like, oh, what happened to him? Oh, he's fine. He's dating somebody or whatever. We're not seeing each other that much. He started staying home more. They stopped doing all those trips, all the stuff that they were doing together. Like, stuff fell off. Like, Josh was hardly around. So time passed, and me and this person split. Like, we went our own way. You will find out about him, and my story. My next story will be the fairy tale. So I will speak more about this beautiful relationship I had with this person. You guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna fall in love with my love story. Well, one of my love story. I have a few, or a lot, or maybe many. So anyways, me and this guy split, and that was it. So I moved back home. When I was with this guy, I didn't have like social media. I didn't use social media. I was very private. He never liked like social media, or or none of that. So I never used to use social media, and I was not in contact with anybody. Moved to another and a whole entire town, so didn't really know nobody. Met new people, had made new friends, etc. So when I go to I go into Instagram. One of my friends was doing a live. Well, a friend that I had, that girl was my friend when BBM existed. So this girl, we were friends, and And she wasn't alive. She was just, I think she was in a club or she was drinking with her friends or whatever. And I was just watching her live normally. After the live, I commented. She's like, "Ah, mi amor, where you been? How are things or whatever?" I'm like, "Everything good." After the live ended, she sent me a message. She sent me a message and she's like, "Hi, can I call you real quick?" And I was like, "Sure, how can I help you?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, call me. How can I help you? What's up?" And she was like, "No, I just wanted to talk to you." She was like, "Hey, listen, are you still with that guy?" And then I was like, "With what guy?" She's like, "So this girl, we were friends back when BBM existed. We had this girl chat that we used to be talking on it, and in the chat, in the girls chat, we used to just like, it was just funny stuff or whatever. So it was always fun with her. When I was with with my boyfriend or my husband, I did see her once in a nightclub. That was the last time I saw her. But like I told you, when I was with him, I didn't have social media, so I just saw her there. I sent her a drink, and that was it. So now I'm talking to her, and she's like, "Yeah, that time that I saw you at the nightclub, you remember when you were with that guy? You still with him?" And I was like, "Oh, with my ex." I was like, "No, we're not together anymore." This was like when I had just moved back home after I ended things with him. So I was like, "No, we're not together anymore. Why? What's going on?" And she's like, "Oh, so about that night, I wanted to say I'm sorry if you felt uncomfortable." And I was like, "No, not at all. Why?" And she's like, "No, because, when I first saw you, I didn't realize that it was you when I got upset, when I saw you with him or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, why you got upset?" Like, and she's like, "Well, first I got upset and then I asked the bartender if she knew you." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, that's the owner of the nightclub." And then she said, she was like, "Oh, wait." So she's like, "Wait, she's the owner, he's the owner of the nightclub?" She's like, "Well, they both are. That's his wife." So she said that, he when she said that, she said she didn't think nothing. She just left it like that. And she's like, "But now," she's like, "I wanted to tell you myself, but I didn't want you to tell you there because you were around a lot of people. And then they told me, like, that you were the wife, and I didn't want to, you were out with your husband. I didn't want to cause a scene. So I didn't tell you nothing. And then I couldn't contact you to let you know I did send you a message with your best friend, but I guess she never gave it to you." So I did ask my best friend, and she said, "Yeah, she did send you a message. But you were, when I send you a message and I asked you how was the relationship, you said it was great, and I left it like that." So I was like, "Okay." I was like, "What was the message?" She goes, "Well, when I saw you with him, I thought that you were his side chick." And I was like, "That I was what?" She's like, "Yeah, I thought that you were this guy's side chick." And I was like, why would you think that I'm this guy's side chick?" He goes, "Well, because he was with Koala, and I thought that him and I used to go out with him and Koala, and him and Koala, we were always out together, and he moved Koala into an apartment. He got Koala an apartment. They used to go on trips together. We used to go out clubbing together all the time." And then I was like, "On trips together?" She goes, "Yeah, they went to AC together. They went on a trip together. I don't know where was it, somewhere like in the Caribbean, where they were away for a week. He moved her into an apartment, furnished her apartment, and everything." And I'm like, "When was this?" She goes, "Yeah, when you were with him, that time that I saw you." And I said, "And what's your friend's name?" And I'm like, "Is that her name?" She goes, "No, that's her nickname." I'm like, "What's her nickname?" She goes, "Koala." And I'm like, "What's her nickname?" She goes, "Koala."